Hello traders, welcome to Simply Forex. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you are all well. Hope you're having a good trading day. A little bit slow today. Yeah, I am in a trade, but and I'll show you which trade I'm in and why I entered it. But yeah, a little bit slow today, guys. So we'll take a look at that. We'll also answer as many of your questions as possible, right? So I can see we've got questions already, which is great. Please keep them coming. So come say hello, Tom, how are you? And ask as many questions as you like, right? I can see we've got some questions from Lee, Stefan, so already good. Yeah, Michael, hi, how are you? So that's what we're going to do. We're also going to look at the news coming out. Please bear in mind that I am terrible at keeping an eye on the time when I get chatting. So if someone could please remind me that there is news coming out at 1/2 the hour, right? We've got all of this US data, right? Initial jobless claims being the most important one, but all of this employment data is pretty important, guys, right? So yeah, 1/2 the hour, remind me about this. We will play Guess the News game. Right, so we'll look at the reaction and we'll guess the news. I know, very exciting. And also, guys, yeah, like I say, we'll take as many questions as we can from you. Let's get started. I can see the editors put a little question up here. I'm going to answer it myself. I am a turtle. Right, guys, let's get stuck straight in. Let's not mess around. So Euro Aussie dollar. Guys, this is a trade that I'm in. Let me show you our Discord channel. You can see in our VIP Trading Academy, I have got into the Euro Aussie dollar sell trade, right? August 1st. So, guys, as per my morning video that I put out earlier today with all my trade ideas, I did exactly what I said I would do, right? And that's how you need to trade, guys. Plan, yeah? My first hour of the day for trading is the most important, right? That's where I go through all 28 currency pairs, look at the indices, couple of commodities, and then I find my trades. And then I plan what I'm going to do with those trades, right? And then when it comes to it, there's no, reaction to price. There's no impulse. There's no uncertainty. I know exactly what I'm going to do, right? And this is what happened, right? I got in the Euro Aussie dollar sell trade. There's the stop loss and there's the take profit. So let's just explain this trade first of all. If we start with the day chart, it's against trend clearly, but super overbought, massive bearish candle, lots of sellers up here, right? Massive sellers. This is also a very important weekly level, okay? If we drop down to the H4, I basically said when H4 structure breaks this low, we're in a downtrend, right? Simple as that. If we just track H4 structure, this is basically where we're at, right? We were in an uptrend because we were getting higher highs, right? But as soon as we break these lows, we're in a downtrend. All right, so you can see so far, the H4 candle has broken this level. I want to see this H4 candle finish like this, right? We've still got, 55 minutes. But if this H4 candle finishes like this, I'm liking this trade back down to here, right? I entered on the H1, right? Because we actually got a H1 break. Yeah, so it's the same level on the H4, but we got this H1 candle that broke. I got a slight retrace, put my stop above here, and like you say, guys, I'm just looking to take price lower. All right, so when I take this H1 structure break, right, I need that to be backed up by the H4, right? H1 has clearly broken this level, right? And we're in a H1 downtrend, right? Clearly. But I need, on the H4, I need to see this H4 candle stay below this level. The body of the candle stay below this level. All right. And then I think we've got a good trade on our hands, guys, to come lower. And that's the only trade that I'm in at the moment for today. So yeah, Euro Aussie dollar sells. Right, let's say hello. So Lee, hi. Stefan, hi. Michael, hi. Rich Paul, sup. Himanshu, hi. Fapello, good day, Fapello. Okay, pound Canadian dollar sells. We'll take a look at that as well. Right, Lee James has got a question here. So let's get stuck in. Let's do it. Lee James, I'm very wary about trading around news or heavy news days, but yet I feel like I'm missing out. What's the best approach? All right, Lee James, very good question. So it depends. So let's, for example, we have got pound interest rate decision coming out, right? Today, yeah. If we go back, right, it was big news. Okay. Yeah, so it's come out, the interest rate was as expected. And if we look at the pound, right, we haven't had, okay, we had a bit of a reaction there, guys, all right, but not, you know, not a crazy reaction, okay, because everything was as expected, right? But we've had a reaction. Now, if I know, so for example, right, I wanted to sell pound New Zealand, pound Aussie dollar and euro Aussie dollar. I was looking at both of these trades today, right? So if we go to pound Aussie dollar, again, if we look at the H4, I was looking for a break of this level and then to take it down to this blue line, right? And that's exactly what happened. But I didn't take this trade because I know the pound, the Bank of England interest rate decision is coming out. But I was happy to trade euro Aussie dollar, as I've just explained. They were very similar setups because there is no big news on the euro, right? So first of all, what you might find is you have correlated pairs like pound Aussie dollar, euro Aussie dollar, and you can trade the one that doesn't have big news coming out, right? So that's the first tip I would say about trading the news. The second thing I would say is it depends how long before news, right? So yesterday, the Fed interest rate decision, right, comes out at about 10 p.m. my time, right? So I trade the London Open, okay? So, you know, I trade like the back end of the Asian session, you know, up until the, you know, the New York Open, and I want to try and be done by then, okay? So it doesn't matter to me if the Fed interest rate is coming out super late, you know, at 10 p.m. I could get in a trade at, you know, 8 a.m. in the morning. There's still time for my trade to play out. Also, you know, when you find yourself, maybe you've taken a trade, right? And big news is coming out, but you're already in the trade. Then what you can do is potentially take some profit off the trade to reduce your risk. You can tighten stop losses to reduce your risk. This is assuming you're in profit. And if you're not in profit and it's near your stop loss, you may as well just let the news play out anyway, right? You haven't got much to lose. I actually do a tutorial on this in the VIP Trading Academy. So yeah, come join the VIP Trading Academy. We've got a tutorial based all on this. But yeah, there's a few tips and pointers, Lee. I hope that helps. But good question. Stefan, another question. I'm enjoying these questions. Good morning, Trader Tom. I would like to start off. I cannot seem to analyze whether euro pound is going up or down. Your thoughts? All right, so let's take a look at euro pound together as one big happy family, right? So euro pound. Right, so we've had that pound reaction here, right? We've had a reaction, and that was pound strength on the back of the interest rate. Okay. Now, it's not as clear. So you know, would you buy or sell euro pound? right? And typically what I'm going to do is start with the day chart, right? Now, the day chart is in an uptrend. So typically I would want to buy, right? We're getting higher highs, higher lows, right? We're in an uptrend. So normally I'd want to buy, right? But look at these candles. Yeah, look at these wicks. That is just sellers, right? So daily chart is telling me to buy. These daily candles are telling me sellers are in control. So I understand the confusion, right? But basically, you know, it makes my decision to trade or not to trade very simple, right? We're in an uptrend. I want to buy. We've got bearish candles. There's contradiction. Yeah, I just don't trade this for the day. I just leave it alone. I'm not interested in euro pound. Okay. So yeah, I wouldn't trade it, right? But to answer your question, let's have a look at the weekly chart. I don't think the weekly chart gives us much more of a definitive answer as well, because this is in a downtrend, right? It is. Yeah, we're getting lower highs, lower lows, right? We're in a downtrend on the weekly, and, you know, that would mean I'd want to sell this pair, okay? And on the day chart, as we know, we're in an uptrend. But having looked at the weekly and these daily candles, if I had to trade this pair, I would sell it, right? But it's not clear. So don't touch this with a barge pole, right? Simple as that. You know, you don't want any contradiction or any confusion, right? Or, you know, or things are not clear, right? And this market, this pair is not clear. So stay well clear. Do not trade it. Right, we've got a question here. Okay, so we've got two. We've got Stefan wanting to look at US dollar, Canadian dollar, and we've got Himanshu looking at pound Canadian dollar. Let's do pound Canadian dollar first, because he's interested in price right now. And then we'll look at US dollar, Canadian dollar. Right, I hear what you're saying. We're getting a break. So I know weekly it's at a resistance level, right? If I zoom out, you can see pound Canadian dollar is at a weekly resistance level, right? So for sales, this is encouraging, although we are clearly in an uptrend, right? However, if we go to the day chart, right, it's not a sell trade for me now, right? And let me explain why. Because if you take today's candle away, right, I'm going to go back in time and take today's candle away. We are in an uptrend, right, with US dollar, Canadian dollar, but obviously it stopped making higher highs, right? It's a weekly level. There's sellers in here. But what I want to see is for me to start looking for sells is a break of this level with a daily candle, not a H4 break, not a H1 break. I want to see a daily candle break this low in here. Then I'll look to sell down to this 176,000. All right. Now, if we go back into real time, we don't have that yet, right? This candle, right? If it finished like it is now, okay, that is a break of structure. It's broken these lows, all right? And potentially I would look to sell it. But it hasn't finished. Look at the wick we're getting. If this wick continues, right, and we end up with a wick like this and a candle like this, right, you would not sell that candle, right? You would not sell this area, right? Because we've got a wick that's pushed back up into this last low. That would be a buying opportunity. So I would wait and see what the daily candle did with pound Canadian dollar, right? That's what's going to determine how I trade this. And don't, you know, Everyone wants to trade. Everyone's in a frantic rush to trade. And that's why you overtrade and lose money, right? Simple as that. Wait for the market to give you a definite trend. Yeah. Then wait for that to happen and then you can trade, right? Don't be in a rush to trade that break because it on the day chart, it hasn't even broken yet. So Himanshu, I would wait until tomorrow and reanalyze this pound Canadian dollar sell. You know, we got some pound strength, right, off the news as well. Okay, so let's see what this does, right? But if it closes back up, you know, above these lows, not interested in selling it one bit. All right. So there's pound Canadian dollar. I hope that helps. Okay, we got another question here. Aubrey, I like your name, Aubrey. Are all Japanese pairs on the downtrend? Yes. Yeah, in a word, all yen pairs are dropping like stones, right? Look at the day chart. The problem with it is, right, clearly in a downtrend, okay? Aussie dollar yen, pick any of them. Euro yen, right? Clearly in a downtrend. The problem with them and a lot of currency pairs at the moment is that they're so overbought or oversold. This is crazy oversold, right? It's in a downtrend, so I want to sell, but there's just no value, right? There's no value in selling this. Yeah, you know, if I sell here, you know, chances are it's going to have a retrace first before it comes back down. So I don't want to sell here. I want to sell on the retrace, right? So yes, yen pairs are all in downtrends, but they're so oversold. You can't touch them at the moment, right? So yeah, there you go. Lee James, gotcha. Thanks for that. No problem. Hamed, good afternoon, Tom. Is it wrong to wait for H4 approval to short Euro Aussie dollar? No. Right? Okay. So the thing is that this is the thing, right? So this level will be a H4 confirmation of trend. Right? Let's go to the H4. So before today started, let's go back in time, right? Before today started, we highlighted this level, right? And the H4 is in an uptrend. Okay. It's not until we break this that we're in a downtrend. Okay. Now, the problem for waiting for a H4 candle is this, right? If we go back into real time, is this, yeah? If you wait for a H4 candle, let's say it finishes here, right? You have, you know, you are going to get in at a later price, right? There's no two ways about it, yeah? Right? I entered here, yeah, because I got a H1 break. So you are already 31 pips, you know, later than me, right? Because I just got in on the H1 break, saw the H1 break, entered there, stop above there, right? Now, it is more aggressive, but it gets you in at an earlier price, right? Whereas the H4, you know, if it finishes here, you're going to get in at a very late price. So there's nothing wrong with waiting for the H4, but that's the pros and cons of waiting for a H4. You're going to get in at a worse price. You could wait for a retrace and then it comes back down, but the retrace may not happen, right? That's the only thing. But no, nothing wrong with that, but this is what could happen, Hamid. Aya, afternoon, Aya, how are you? Guys, before I take the next question, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button and smash the like button, guys. Yeah, it really helps support the vid. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Please smash that like button while you do that, I am going to have a drink of water while you smash that like button. Right, I've just had an alarm come up on Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. Let's take a look at that. Right, so this is a potential against trend trade. So let's take a look at this. If we look at the weekly chart, look at that level. Yeah, we are at a beautiful, wonderful weekly level, right? Resistance, support, potential support. And look at the moving average 20, right? And look at trend, right? We're in an uptrend. So I really, really like this Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar level, you know, especially if the weekly candle finishes like that. Obviously, we've got another day's trading ahead of us, right? And we've got NFPs and anything can happen. But, you know, this is a really nice area. And all I'm, you know, on the day chart as well, look how this candle held on to this grey zone and this last low. It hasn't broken it, right? That's a big deal. It so desperately wants to hold on to this level, and buyers have pushed it back up. It reeks of a liquidity grab, right? I bet there were lots of buyers in here, right? Buyers at this level. Okay, I bet there were lots of buyers in here. And then the big sharks, the banks, the investment companies, right? They know that all of these buyers are putting their stop losses in here, right? And the big banks have gone, bang, thank you very much. I can now fill my very large order and I can push price back up. So it reeks of that, yeah? It reeks of a liquidity grab. And then my alarm went off because we're getting a H4 structure break, right? At this point, right, we was in a downtrend. But if I get a H4 candle, right, that finishes like this or maybe a bit higher, but it breaks this high, I will buy Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar, right? I will buy Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar here, put my stop below here, and look to take price higher. All right, so there's a trade possibly developing as we speak, guys. Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar buys from a key weekly support level. All right, we'll keep an eye on this. You know, guys, I put all of these trades and all of my trade signals into the VIP Trading Academy. So if you haven't already, please come join the VIP Trading Academy. You won't be disappointed. I didn't know what else to say. That's what I said. Right, what else are we looking at, guys? I'm struggling with having confidence in my strategy. I do get some wins, but sometimes I feel like it is luck. I risk less on every trade, and I feel like it is not enough. So that is so typical of a new trader, right? So confidence comes from results, right? And it's a really good question, right? Confidence comes from results, but you don't know your results until you've been trading for, let's say, 6 months, right? So if you trade the same system, this is what you all must do, right? You must work out a strategy that works, and then you must trade it for 6 months without changing or tweaking it, right? Because at the end of 6 months, you will have reliable data. You have proved to yourself that in the last 6 months, I made, I don't know, 15%, right? So my strategy works. I am consistently profitable, right? You have a benchmark figure. It almost proves it to yourself. But this is what all new traders will do. And this is what I did. In those 6 months, you will tinker You will change the strategy, you will tinker with it, you'll start looking at different time frames, you might even introduce an indicator. And what started as your strategy is unrecognizable, right? So you don't know what your strategy is. So any data you get over 6 months is irrelevant, right? Because you haven't give your strategy the time. You've tinkered it and it's changed. So that's the first point, and it's so important. This is what I stress to all new traders. Just trade a system for 6 months, right? And then you'll have an idea of when you'll have a benchmark figure, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is, whatever you risk must remain the same, right? Confident or not, you have to risk, let's say it's 1%. You have to risk 1% every trade, because again, in 6 months, that data will be skewed if you don't, right? If you trade for 6 months, risk 1% every trade, then again, you have a good figure in 6 months to deal with, right? But imagine during those 6 months, one trade is 1%, the next trade's 2%, one trade is 0.3% because you're not very confident. You are going to have skewed data, right, in those 6 months. So you've just got to rinse and repeat and do the same things over and over again. Give yourself 6 months and see where you are. In 6 months, even if you've made 6%, you have done well as a new trader, right? So that's my advice. Confidence comes from doing the same thing and relying on the data that you have, right? You know, if I trade this for 6 months, I am consistently profitable. So for the next 6 months, I'm going to do exactly the same, right? And after 6 months, if there's a couple of bits of information that, you know, pop out at you that, you know, maybe you could tweak this or that, you can at that point, but don't keep tweaking it for the first 6 months. So important that, guys, right? Rinse and repeat every day. Right, we've got news coming out in 1 minute. Noor, how are you? Drebu, mind meditation. I like this. US dollar yen. Okay, we'll look at that. Okay, we've got some more questions here, guys. Alex. Okay, we'll look at that. Nafal, how are you today, Tom? I'm very well, Nafal. Thank you for asking. Aubrey, New Zealand US dollar. Lee James, news in 5 minutes. Lee James, thank you very much for reminding me. I always forget the news. So let's just pick any US dollar pair, and we're going to look at the reaction of the news on the 1 hour chart. And then we are going to play detective like Sherlock Holmes, and we are going to guess what the news outcome was. Was it as expected? Was it better than expected? Was it worse than expected? I know it's an exciting game. Hold on to your seats. Right, news is out. Here we go. So immediately we're seeing euro strength, which means US dollar weakness, which would suggest the news was worse than expected, right? But let's not just take euro US dollar's word for it. Let's look at pound US dollar. Yeah, US dollar weakness across the board. US dollar weakness. Let's look at one more. We know, right? US dollar weakness. So I'm going to say the US data that just come out was much worse than expected. Not a little bit, but much worse than expected. Let's see if Sherlock Holmes is correct or if I have egg on my face. I was correct. Sherlock Holmes strikes again. Yeah, so there you go, guys. All worse than expected. So, you know, these are the big ones. Continuing jobless claims, initial jobless claims, you know, both a lot worse than expected. Yeah, because look at this. 235 to 236 is only a little miss. Yeah, no problem. But 249, right? There is more people claiming unemployment. That is bad for the economy, obviously, right? So yeah, a lot worse than expected. We've had a really bad data there for the US, and we're seeing US dollar weakness off the back of that. Right. Okay, so everyone wants to look at US dollar pairs. Let's have a look at US dollar Japanese yen. Well, we've done the yen pairs, Drebu, to be honest with you. They're all, you just can't do anything with them at the moment, right? Day chart, right? It's in a downtrend, clearly, right? Which tells me I want to sell, but it's so oversold. I'm just not interested. There's no value down here. And that's the same with all yen pairs. So Drebu, no trade here. Would there be an against trend trade? Potentially. Yeah, potentially, but not today. Look at that bearish candle. Let's see what today's candle brings. Yeah, and we can reanalyze this tomorrow. Maybe we do have a trend against trend trade. We shall see. Right, what else are we looking at? Alex, good evening, everyone. Got a question. Is it normal for the dollar index and its positively correlation pairs to move in the same direction? So this is the relationship you need to know with the dollar index, right? So here's the dollar index. And this doesn't involve any other currency. This is just the dollar, right? It's not compared with any other trade, with any other pair, okay? But yes, I keep a keen eye on the dollar index, and let me explain why. So this is telling you the strength or weakness of the dollar, right? It's also telling you, you know, where price could react, right? We're at an important support zone here, but we're in a downtrend with the dollar. You know, it's telling us that the dollar is weak because it's in a downtrend, right? But it's at a support level. So it's tricky to read, really. The dollar might do this. Okay. Now, every time you look at Euro US dollar, Pound US dollar, New Zealand US dollar, Swiss franc, US dollar Canadian dollar, anything with US dollar in as a pair, you need to keep an eye on the dollar index. So, for example, you know, up here, right? If I know that the dollar has broken trend, right, like this, we've broken all of these lows, right? We've got a bearish candle. I know the dollar is in a downtrend and the dollar is going to be weak because it has room to move into. So from here to here, I know the dollar's going to be weak, right? So we can use that information when we look at Euro US dollar. So if you know, let's go to Euro US dollar. If you know the US dollar is going to be weak, you might be thinking to yourself, oh, this might be a nice area to buy Euro US dollar, right? Because the US dollar is weak. And that's how you use the dollar index. Yeah, it just gives you another piece of information about the strength of the dollar, which I don't trade the dollar index. I trade Euro US dollar, Pound US dollar, but it gives me more information to make more informed trades on the dollar major pairs. All right, so that's how we roll with the dollar index. Guys, just quickly, if you haven't joined our trading community yet, then why the hell not? Right? Come join it. You can speak to like-minded traders, have a chit chat, share ideas, knowledge, trades. So come join our free Discord channel. All right. If you would like more than that, and you would like access to my trade signals, you would like access to my strategies and tutorials, and direct access to me, then please come join our VIP Trading Academy. And also, guys, if you would like to get access to these things at discounted price or even free, then please sign up with one of our preferred brokers. Yeah, they're all global brokers with a very good reputation, so check them out. Right, what else have we got? Okay, Aubrey would like to look at New Zealand dollar, US dollar. It's all about the US dollar today. Let's just take a quick look at Euro Aussie dollar. Okay, so that's having a bit of a retrace. It's this low here, guys, right? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this finishes. But even if it finishes like this, guys, I'm still going to stay in this trade because that is a H4 downtrend. Right, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Yeah, I wanted to buy this. This was a trade idea for today, right? This is also against trend. So why was I willing to take a trade against trend? Let me just remove these fibs. Now, this is a key support level for New Zealand dollar, US dollar, right? We're in a downtrend, but again, like I've said many times, right? Things are oversold or overbought. This is oversold at this level, right? And then at this level, right, we have had bullish candle, right? There's buyers entering the market. I still think we have a bit of room up to the moving average 20 is pretty much what I'm aiming for. And this 6,000 psychological level, right? The problem is I need a retrace into value before I come higher. Now, if we look at the H4, before that news came out, right? Before, like this is a news candle so far, right? Because this news, before this news come out, this was coming down nicely, right? We clearly broke this level, which was important, right? We're in an uptrend, and I just wanted a retrace, right? Potentially down to this gray zone, or even a bit further down to the moving average 20, but somewhere in here, I wanted a retrace, then I would have entered, okay? And I thought we were getting that, right? We had bearish candle, super bearish candle. I thought price was going to come down. As it stands, it hasn't, right? News has just come out and it's given this pair a real bullish boost. But I'm still not interested in this pair. Yeah, there's no value in buying up here, right? At the very least, I want to see price come back to these lows. I could consider buying in here. But up here, I'm still not interested. I still want to see that retrace, you know, maybe down to here, you know, preferably down to here, and then we start buying. But I want to buy New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Yeah, just haven't had a deep enough retrace yet. But we'll see. Maybe it still makes its way back down. Right, we don't know, guys. We'll keep an eye on it. If it does, you can see my alarm is in here, and as soon as that alarm's hit, I will be all over buying this pair. All right, so that is New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Yes, everyone hit the thumbs up. Thank you very much, Lee James. Yeah, everyone, please smash that like button. It really helps support the vid. Mercy Buku, and subscribe if you haven't already. What other questions have we got? We did have one more. We had US dollar, Canadian dollar for Stefan. All right, so let's go back to that now and take a look at US dollar, Canadian dollar. Okay, so let's start with a weekly chart, right? This is at a key weekly level, right? Important weekly level. I've done that in syllables just to express the importance of this level, right? It's an important level. However, right, we are in a weekly uptrend and we have a very bullish candle. This would suggest that we potentially have a little bit more room into this level, right? Not that I want to trade that. I do not want to trade into resistance, but that's what this structure and this candle, I mean, and look at the bounce we're getting so far. So potentially price could come into this level a little bit more, right? That's what the weekly's telling us. If we look at the day chart, we are in an uptrend, clearly, right? Excuse me. And we're at a very nice support level, right? What was once resistance becomes support. Okay. Now, I would want to buy this level if this candle wasn't so bearish. That's quite a bearish candle, right? But if price comes back down into here and we get, it doesn't have to be super bullish. It just shouldn't be that bearish. Yeah, and let's say we even just get a doji in here, right? Perhaps the moving average 20 catches up. That would be a good buying option here, right? Weekly was telling us we have a bit more room, that we're in a daily uptrend as well. You know, this is a nice level. I'd like to see the moving average 20 catch up, and this could be a really nice level for buys. Okay. So really, I'm only interested in buying US dollar, Canadian dollar. If it got to a point where US dollar, Canadian dollar, the day chart did something like this and broke down, I would be happy to sell it because we know this is a key weekly resistance level. But while we're in an uptrend at a good support level with room to move into, I would only be buying US dollar, Canadian dollar at the moment. So yeah, I hope that helps, guys. Thank you very much for all of your questions today. We can't do the live stream without you. Please don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. And please come check out all the things we've got going. We've got the free Discord. We've got the VIP Trading Academy. We've got Simply Forex YouTube membership. And we've got access to loads of great brokers which offer you discounts on everything we do. So check it all out. Thanks once again, guys. Have a great trading day, and I'll see you later.